The other thing that's important too that I think definitely got glossed over back in the early days was the importance of integration. And that is taking the time after each psychedelic experience and taking the time to figure out what happened, what did it mean, what do I need to do, how do I bring this knowledge or this information that came to me in this state, how do I bring it into my everyday life, and how do I make it a part of my conscious existence?
Integration is something that the Pearl has really founded itself on strongly. The medicine is a doorway. It shows you what your internal healing system is wanting you to work towards or level up to or reveal, but it's not going to be the change. The change is the work that you put in. It's like friction. You know, you've got momentum and you have to move forward, and the only way you move forward is with effort.
Integration is a concept, I feel like, or a term that's really used pretty loosely in the psychedelic community. I think it gets kind of tossed around without sort of a concrete understanding of what it is, yet it's really critical to the process as a whole. A lot of people who are coming through in the medical or the clinical setting are coming from, you know, a Western mindset, a very individualistic mindset. And so there's often sort of like a timeline or trajectory that they have in their head around like what the healing process looks like. And integration really creates an opportunity to be far more holistic about the experience as a whole. It's not just the time in which we take the medicine that the medicine is working. We have to remember with each compound or whichever medicine we're working with, we have these times throughout, whether it's, you know, a couple weeks after ketamine or a month after psilocybin, where it's sort of like putting Miracle Grow on the brain.
After your journey, subsequently, you're going to have to work with that. And by working with that, that's when the integration comes in. So you have appointments, you have people you work with. But integration is really cool because it can come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, meaning like there's a lot of variation in integration. You can have types of integration that is more the traditional therapy model, which I was just talking about, or you can have your own techniques of integration, writing.
Discussion and talking about the experiences.
Somatic work, it could be through breath work, it could be through talk therapy.
Meditation, writing down your dream.
Artwork.
Journal writing, drawing, painting, dancing.
It could be through reflection.
Just sitting in nature and listening to the world roll by.
Music. There's so many different variables to how you can use integration.
And so we really want to capitalize on that space and that time. So integration is really sort of like this opportunity to possibly habituate new patterns, start exploring new perspectives, but it's really the opportunity where you sort of up the ante on the work that you're doing, and you're giving it like this sort of like rich sort of soil or nutrients to your healing journey and your process. And again, integration can really take on a lot of different forms in the sense of, like I said, it could be somatic, it could be dance, it could be movement, but it's really about capitalizing on this length of time in between the sessions to not only make sense of what sort of came up during the medicine session, but also to start to introduce new practices into your life that will ultimately serve, you know, your higher self or serve your journey onward.
I think folks back in the 60s weren't very aware of that. I think the other danger that can happen is people just start to look at psychedelics as the thing, and so they start to get the thrill-seeking thing going, and it's about just the only time they're gonna, you know, the only time they're going to get anything out of it is when they're doing psychedelics and they're not taking the time to integrate.
We're all working on it all the time. It's called getting into a flow state instead of being in that future fear or past anger, regret, sadness, whatever it is that's pulling you forward or backward. It's getting into that flow state, and that's what integration is. It's about doing things in the present state of mind, really shifting to make lasting change using that present state.
Personally, what I use is I go out to the woods. When I'm out in the woods, everything slows down. I can really get in space with what I'm trying to think, and I can write. I can be out there with other people and talk to them, but that's where everything kind of slows down, the space opens up for me. So that's like my special place for integration. And I've always really used that for myself. In general, I think integration is really what we would say is the key to all this medicine really working. It's not as much as the experience, kind of like I said, opens the door, but really it's the work you put in after that really has the long-lasting effect.
You learn the tools to then take it forward so that when other things that might have in the past activated your trauma or taken you into that state of flight, fight, or freeze, you're able to then have these tools that you've used and you know and you trust to help you to just, it's more like a little hill that you're overcoming instead of a mountain that you don't even feel you can climb.
Thank you for watching, and please remember to like this video and to subscribe to our channel.
For more information or to make a donation towards our cause, please visit our website.